you've been to the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College as a student, parent, or curious browser, you would have interfaced with the work of the talented webmaster and web designer, Miss Janelle, sorry, I'm changing her name, Tracey Mason. She's with us this morning to discuss this and her passion for information technology. How long have you been doing this?
Okay, my experience as a web designer started back in 2010 when I returned from Monroe College. I did a bachelor's in IT, information technology. When I came home, I started working first for the Financial Services Unit, which was the first website I ever worked on, and they were impressed, and I was transferred to the IT department at the industrial site. One of the second websites I worked on was the Citizenship by Investment Unit. Then I left there and was snatched up to the CFBC College because the website there, it needed some revamping and there was lots of work to be done at that time. So I started working there at the college around 2012, April. This year, March made 10 years for me.
Congratulations.
It's a great anniversary. Yeah. So what inspired you to get into the IT field in the first place?
Okay, since I was a child, I lived with my nephew who actually was into computers. His name is Colin Norford. He is the manager for the...
Norford is your nephew?
Yes. Actually, he's older than I am, but I am his aunt, and he lived with me at home, and he was into computers, dealing with command prompt and that kind of thing, not before there was a user interface, and I was impressed. And he went off to Monroe College, and I was impressed when he came back and he got the job, and I just followed in his footsteps.
Oh, that's good enough.
I also have another nephew. His name is Winston Martin. He's the IT manager for the Marriott. Yes.
Oh,
and so
okay.
I am not the type who see myself just sitting behind a desk just doing simple administrative work. Well, not simple, sorry, but I just want to be into something more practical, more robust. So I chose IT as my passion, more specifically web development.
Makes sense. All right. Colin is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And I know Winston from way back when he was young.
Well, there you go.
Oh, wow. So we have
There.
things in common. So you said
Yes.
the aspect that you enjoy most is the web development. Why?
Yes. Somehow I became intrigued while being around college, Colin, on how things just simply moved on the screen. I wanted to know what was behind it, how did this work, and my curiosity became more and more even after he came back from college. So I just pushed forward into that field, but it took me a while. Like, I used to work at government headquarters before I went to college in the Prime Minister's office, then former Prime Minister Dr. Douglas, aide in the press secretary's office, and I was there like a year and some, and I tried to figure out, what do I do? And then one day Colin walked into the office to see me, and he was like, why don't you just do what I did, go to Monroe? And so then right there, the same day, I sent in my application, got accepted after a while, and then he hooked me up with some of the folks that he knew there who were into IT. So it was smooth sailing for me.
Great.
Nice. I like
Great
that.
to know.
I like that.
All right. So of the projects that you've listed, and maybe even some that you haven't, what is the one that you're the most proud of?
CFBC.
Oh, why?
Okay, I like working with people. I like working with the students. I enjoy, facilitating, making things better for them. I was also a system administrator. I am also the system administrator where you would help students to go online, register, set up email accounts and different things. So it's, in addition to web development, I also dabbled in other technical aspects of IT. You always have to keep building yourself and pushing yourself forward. Self-development, that's important to me.
So those other aspects, let's talk about that, because obviously you've settled into web development quite nicely.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure that you've been exposed to so much that there are other things that
Yes, I do flyers, I do posters, I do logos, and I also have a business license in graphics and web development design since I think it was around 2015 or so. and I have been pushing that, but recently after COVID hit, I lost a lot of my clients, and so I am right now into rebranding and rebuilding. There's a domain, Web Evolutions, SKN.com, but nothing is there as yet. I'm actually trying to put the content together to get it up and running. I was just contracted by a newly registered company in Barbados called Mission Elevations, where I am doing web development and branding for other small businesses for them as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you're putting your skills to good use.
Yes.
So what is the next big thing, I should say, in website development?
Well, for me, the next big thing for me is to have my own website up and running and to help facilitate small businesses to get their business up and running. You know, a website to me is the face front of any business. When a person learns about a new business, they go to the website, they see what it's all about. You know, it's good to have social media marketing pages in addition to the website, but the downfall with having a social media marketing page alone, such as Facebook, is the information gets lost, you know, on the timeline, and people will have to be scrolling for years. With a website, we stick to what you call a 3-click rule. You just go here, click 1 to 3 times, you find the information directly what you're looking for. You know, so it's just to facilitate small businesses to get them up and running and, you know, spread awareness.
It's actually a great idea, especially post-COVID, and you were doing it before COVID, but definitely post-COVID, it's a great idea. And that's one of the things. I think because you're in that field, I would venture to say that you understand rules that a lot of other people don't. So when you see those rules not being adhered to in terms of what a website should look like and where information should go, does that get on your nerves a little bit?
I also do some website consulting, because one of the challenges faced by a web developer is you, a small business owner, or a large company would come, I need a website. Yes, you have a website, you want a website, but what do you want? What is your target audience? And most of the time when some people come and want a website, they don't have any content. You find yourself becoming website administrator, designer, and content manager, which is very challenging. They have no idea, so you have to become intimate with the company, research, learn about it, and figure out, okay, how do I put this content together? Or you hire a content manager to assist you to get it moving. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A real challenge.
You make it look easy, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
I try my best.
I know. So what about bugs? When you find bugs?
Bugs, I don't often come across bugs because I do what I have to do, which is necessary to get the website secured. You do backups. During my tenure at CFBC, there was only one time I remember that website was hacked. One morning I wake up 6 o'clock and I went on the website and I saw porn. when I typed cfbc.edu.kn and like my hat fell. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So I picked up the phone and I called the IT manager, who was Gavin Newton. He was an inspiration for me. He said, Janelle, calm, do what you have to do, troubleshoot, and let's get on it. Let's see. So I got up, get dressed, got to work early, and did what I had to. And in a couple of days, like 3 days, you know, informed the staff what happened. And in a couple of days, everything was back up and running. Increased security to make sure that it never happens again. And so far, so good.
All right, good.
But that's not a good experience.
No, not at all, not at all. We actually have some clips of your work, so we're going to take a look. Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Go ahead.
Confident in it. She said, sure, you go right ahead.
All right, so it seems as though those clips have not yet been loaded, so why don't we do this? Let's talk about your website. Well, you talk about some of the services that you offered. Is there any plan for revamping any of those services, any growth? Have you identified new customers, perhaps, that you want to target?
Yes, there are plans for that. I said we're into some rebranding, and we're going to engage some more services, such as helping companies to, you know, get a complete package. If you're in your business, you want a logo, you want letterheads, you want invoices, you want stationery, stuff like that. We are going to engage in services like that. That's one thing that we never did, but we're going to do that.
Oh, well, that makes sense with your eye for design as well.
Yes.
Everything is integrated.
Yes.
All right, so it seems as though we have the clips. We have the clip now. Okay, yeah, let's take a look.
That is a birthday party for my niece, Kamoy.
Oh, really?
Family, I do free of charge. Family members, I don't feel good charging them, so I just do it.
When I see this, apart from, your relative, who's very gorgeous, by the way, I love your use of color and the repetition.
Thank you.
The pink pops, even on her lips.
She's actually a makeup artist. This was a logo I did for my cousin in St. Croix who has a daycare center, Maryland.
I like that. So that's the teacher in the middle and the boy and the girl.
Yes.
Sweet. I like it, yeah. I like it.
Yes.
It's quite unique that you get the message. I'm telling you.
Then the next one, that's a logo, but it's a different variations. What we do is like, when we create a logo for you, we give you different variations so that you could apply it to different backgrounds instead of just giving you a one-colored background, not knowing what color theme your website is going to use, and it kind of throws it off. So we just give you different styles. But that's a black and white, for example. If you have a black heading, it shows up much better on the background.
Damien always talks about his white spaces.
I love it.
Go ahead. Well, that's the color, right? Exactly. That's the real logo now. The color. Yes. This is a ticket that I created for a birthday party that my brother have every November.
Oh, so this is your brother.
Yeah.
So this is free.
So I do tickets as well as posters for events.
It's gorgeous, Tracy.
Tracy didn't hear me say if that was free.
You could see what this is. I usually do the ticket and poster flyer for the Prime Minister's Gala every single year in January. Well, back then, Dr. Douglas. And, after COVID, we didn't have any, so it was like 2 years now. I think that's the ticket.
You got your fireworks and your band.
This is another logo created for Carisi and Nero, who have an organization where she gives out clothing and so on to people in need stuff.
Like the helping hand.
Right, give one touch, right.
Great.
This is another logo for a tour guide company. Yeah.
Nice.
It's called 869 Limited.
869 Limited, and you bring out the colors of our flag as well.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
Looking at the borders, I see the hint of the black in the water where the white is.
This is a logo for my niece who owns a pizza joint, Buff's Pizzeria.
Look at what you did, though, with Buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put the pizza in the background and embed it with the letters. Love at first slice.
I see buff and I think meat. And the,
and
the meat does come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
There it is.
This is another logo for my niece, the same makeup artist, La Belle Amie. We sit pretty.
Oh, parlez-vous français? Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it's French.
Everything is so different, but so impactful.
Yeah. And this is the poster that goes with the ticket for the Prime Minister's Gala. Yes, Dr. Douglas.
Okay.
So are you looking forward to doing stuff like this
for Dr. Drew? Of course.
You go.
Yes.
Where she said. All right, so let's talk about some of the challenges that you might have encountered working in this area. What comes to mind as I say challenge?
Okay, one of the let me just speak about the main challenge, which is myself being a female. It's very challenging to, let's say, when I'm engaging a client, the client may have reservations about the amount charged for the project. I think sometimes it stems from me being a female.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, because I don't know if it is that I am not aggressive enough, but I found myself one time having to have a male friend who is also into IT. I think it's okay for me to say his name, Frederick Gillard. I'm not sure if you know of him, who would accompany me to meetings to meet clients when I'm engaged in a contract, as reassurance, well, this is the value for this project, and it's worth it, because you would find they would say things like, explain this charge and explain that charge, and he is into IT, so he would give me some backup as to reassure them, well, this is worth it, but it's challenging. Most of the times the meeting will be successful and they will accept the quote, but that's one of the things that I am still nervous about as a female, because you realize most females, okay, the amount of females that are into IT is less than males. You see it at the college where I work, the female students is you have 3 female students in a class with 40,
it's different
males.
Overseas, right?
Yes, it's different
here,
overseas, but back here in St. Kitts, and like I said before, I love IT and I didn't want to just sit behind a desk. I want to be doing something practical.
Yeah. That's good that you have that buddy system with Fred.
But I'm still baffled as to why she cannot just say, this is the amount that you charge.
I can, but they sometimes, just...
What makes them think that you're not capable of delivering on what you said you would deliver?
Because I think it's just a tendency, they underestimate us females of, doing what a male does.
Okay.
Well, it's good that you have that, as I said, that buddy system too.
Support.
Yeah, that's
yes, it's very important.
Of course, Freddie's tall, so right.
So for students that may be interested in going into what you're doing, web designing or any other area, what advice would you give to them? You can look into that camera.
Okay, for IT professionals, right? What you put in to your business and your projects and what your level of success depends solely on you. As a student or an IT professional, one of the struggles from the onset is self-motivation. You're in it, you start a business, you're doing this alone. For me, when I started IT, I was excited and enthusiastic about everything, learning. Even on my busiest days, I would find the time to code and learn a new web language, even though I would be at home with my family members like, look at this. I was like, Janelle, what are you doing? Because they would see a question mark, a full stop, and I was like, what are you typing? Gavel, And so I would tell these students to find ways to motivate yourself. Small-scale projects in web development, even or any other field in IT, it can become mentally challenging, right? And so one of the things students may face that would be a challenge would be like a simple thing such as a slow-speed computer. That ticks me off very much, right? They also may experience unstable internet at home or electricity, and it might become a problem. Or a student may have a job in addition to the classes and trying to manage, and it may become stressful. So I would advise, first of all, that you practice proper time management, right? With time management, you would get to produce more because you are able to focus on what you do. You have to become disciplined and stick to it. I would also advise that you can join an online community on Facebook or any social media platform. By joining this community like I did, it kind of sparks a plug in you when boredom kicks in, because you're able to engage other web developers, other IT professionals. You could also use it to troubleshoot. You could also learn about new trends, and if you are troubleshooting a problem, you could ask questions. Another thing, always consider yourself a learner. Most employees, when they hire an IT professional, to me, I think that they expect us to know everything. IT professionals don't know everything. Yeah. For us, it's troubleshooting. And so I would advise that you don't pretend to know everything. And for example, if you have a client, let's say a client brings up a laptop to you and said, this is a problem, you ask, okay, first question, what were you doing when you encountered the problem? And respectfully, you just say, okay, give me some time, I will look at it, and I will get back to you. Don't pretend to know everything, because that can, affect your credibility in the future. Another one, I would say self-awareness. Know what you want, know what you're about. Why am I doing this? Is this just a hobby for me, or is it about the financial aspect of it? Once you know and you decide those answers, it kind of acts as a catalyst, a catapult for you to, a self-motivation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Another thing is you always reward yourself first of all, you set attainable goals, right? When you set attainable goals, to me, achieving a goal, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You can start by looking at your main goals and set small, achievable goals from those main goals by doing things like a to-do list. You check off, you feel good, this is completed, you're on your way. And finally, I would say to make sure to always reward yourself, because if you don't, to me, what happens is you will find yourself slipping back into boredom and a feeling of being burnt out. Some of the things I do, I take a long nap, I go to the nail tech, the spa, go out with my friends, have a drink, or play a video, or even play a video game, do something that I haven't done in a while because I was busy, Self-motivation to me is critical, and once you're self-motivated, it enhances your productivity and your progress, which is very important to your success.